Hi everybody, I wanted to make a short video on how to factor trinomials with a leading coefficient. So I picked number 4 from your homework to work out. So I'm going to use the second method we talked about in our notes with the 3 steps. So our first step is we want to find out what a times c is, and remember that these quadratic equations are written out in standard form: ax squared plus bx plus c. So when I say a times c, I'm looking at a, which is the coefficient in front of my n squared, and c, which is my constant. So ac is equal to 5 times 12, which is equal to 60. So once I know what AC is, I'm going to make an X factor where I have my AC, which is 60, on top, and on the bottom I have B, which is 19, looking at our equation. So we have 19. So to finish my X factor, I'm looking for two numbers that when I multiply them, I get 60, and when I add them, I get 19. So you can kind of think of all your factors of 60. But 15 and 4 should work. So 15 times 4 is 60, and 15 plus 4 is 19. So my second step then is I'm going to rewrite my equation, the 5n squared plus 19n plus 12. And I'm going to rewrite it by, sorry about that, but I'm going to split up my middle term, that 19n. I'm going to rewrite it using these numbers, the factors that I found, 15 and 4. So I'm going to rewrite this as 15n plus 4n. The 15n plus 4n is another way of writing 19n. So if I rewrite this, sorry, it does not want to scroll down to the bottom. Let's try that again. I'll just extend the page. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we can rewrite this equation as 5n squared plus 15n plus 4n plus 12. So all I did was rewrite the equation, but instead of writing 19n, I wrote that as 15n plus 4n. So these two equations are the same thing, they equal the same thing, but I turned it into, I've got 4 terms here. And the reason I want 4 terms instead of 3 is that I know how to factor these 4 terms if I use the factoring by grouping. So our third step is to solve this by using factoring by grouping. So I'm going to group these into 2 pairs. I'm going to group my multiples of 5 together. So I have 5n squared plus 15n. And then I'm going to group my multiples of 4 together. So 4n plus 12. So I'm going to take a look at just my first pair right here. And I'm going to find the greatest common factor of 5n squared and 15n. I'm going to factor that out. Just doing the same thing. Okay, so my greatest common factor of 5n squared plus 15n is 5n, because both of those terms have factors of 5 and n. So when I factor out 5n from 5n squared, I just have n left, plus 15n divided by 5n is 3. Okay, so for my second group, I'm going to look at my greatest common factor, which is 4, and I'm going to factor that out. And so all I'm left with inside the parentheses after I factored out a 4 is n plus 3. And I can see that 5n and 4 are both being multiplied by the same thing, the n plus 3. So I can take 5n and 4 and rewrite this because of the distributive property. It tells me that I can combine those terms and then multiply them by n plus 3, since they're both being multiplied by n plus 3. So when I write it out like that, I have two binomials, and I have factored my trinomial into its two factors of 5n plus 4 and n plus 3. And then if you'd like to stay to check your answer, you can always check to see if this is correct by using FOIL. So if we use FOIL, multiplying our first terms, we get 5n squared plus our outside terms is 5n times 3, so 15n, plus our inside terms, 4 times n is 4n, plus our last terms, we get 12. So if we combine our like terms, we get 5n squared plus 19n plus 12. And if we check, that is the same problem that we started with. So our answer checks out. So 5n squared plus 19n plus 12 can be factored into 5n plus 4 times n plus 3. And you're all done.